Ooh. looking every bit of Prince on Soul Train last night.
So really?
Like you had the purple. Was that jacket purple?
No, it was black.
It looked, the lights made it,
reflected every color.
Yes, indeed it did, Stokley. And I mean, you were off the chain last night.
Thank you. It was fun.
I mean, amazing. As a matter of fact, here, I have...
Fact of the matter is,
yes, I have a few things that the peoples was saying. And normally, Stokley, you don't want to hear what the people be saying on the internet. But
it's all right.
I would never do you like that. So
I love them all. It's all right.
So let me read you some of the comments from your performance from Soul Train last night. Do you look at comments on Instagram?
Yeah, I do so. Yeah.
That's fire, hearts.
All right.
Ain't nothing like real music. All right. Stokley official real music is coming back.
All right.
I like the tribute. Let me see. Best part of the show, she says.
Oh, my bless you.
Now this is music. But people ignoring this post. I don't know why people ignoring the post. You even got a legendary. OMG, Stokley.
All right.
Yes, baby. Needs to go on tour now.
All right.
How you feel about that one?
Check your city. Check my socials. See if I ain't going to be in your city. I just might.
So are you on tour now?
We're doing spot dates. A lot of stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Most weekends I'm out, yeah.
All right.
So check your local city, local venues.
Stokley looks and sounds the same.
All right.
You like that?
That's a big compliment. Yeah. I'll take it.
To say you look the same, I mean...
I take it. Hey, you know.
When was the
Could
last...
be worse.
When was the last time... when are they referring... When they say you look the same, at what point and period are they talking about?
That's the thing. You never know. I'll take it anyway. It's a compliment anyway. So.
Okay. Somebody said, that's my song.
All right.
Bring that old school back. And then, let me see. It was a good one. Hold on. It was a good one here that I was looking at. The basic thing that people were saying about you is that you are real music.
All right.
You are what music is. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
It means everything, because you don't spend that much time by yourself and inside of four walls to sound like some mess. It's like, but I have a lot on my shoulders, and people before me had a lot on their shoulders, and that's from, the guy who owns this studio, you know what I mean, is a prime example. We have a lot to live up to, so we have, that's that responsibility we have to carry, because they carried it for us, so we got to do the same, carry it on to the next generation. So to be called, music it's a great compliment. That's what we're trying to be, taking all the energy that is the world, the universe, human beings, and, spit it back out, and hopefully everybody else, resonates with what us artists are trying to convey.
I'm always interested when people say, now this is real music. So I want to ask you, Stokley, what is fake music?
I know, you know what I mean? That's probably not, like when we say real music, what does that mean? They probably mean, as far as in classical sense, is, hearing, instrumentation, live drums, live bass, guitar. I think that most times when people say that, because everything is so computer generated, which
that's
is great.
true. That's true.
So I think when they say that, they're referencing, when seeing bands back in the 70s, that kind of thing. And I think Mint Condition was the last thing they saw like that as a unit, I'm sure there are other bands and things like that out there, but it's like
there are no other bands
that existed as an artist. I think we're the last ones that I know. There probably are, at that level.
I'm sure there are bands, but I don't believe that there are bands as successful as Mint Condition, because I'm saying that are still in existence from earlier periods in time. Do you believe that will come back? Do you believe that instrumentations in music will come back? Everything seems to be secular, but
it can. And I think it's one of those things where it depends on the group of people. You absolutely have to have a common goal, a common vision, and you have to be dedicated, to your craft, to each other as well. You know what I mean? So you got to know that whatever comes, there may be an offer here, maybe offer, and it's like to really build something. You know what I mean? So it's more than just about going, you actually got to go out and do it.
Right.
And, it's going to take a lot of, blood, sweat, and tears. But knowing that every day you got to get up and keep continuing the path. As they say, drip, drip, drip makes a hole in the rock. That same spot.
Hold on, say that again.
Drip, drip makes a hole in the rock.
Does it really?
Yeah, after a while,
Can you make a hole in a rock?
That's what I've heard. That's what I've read.
We got to test that. We got to send that in to
some kind of scientific.
Yeah, they have a science show where they test theories. We got to send that one in.
Oh, Mr. Well, yeah, I seen it. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
I read that a long time ago though. That so I've always used that. Yeah,
yeah. Drip, drip, drip makes puts a hole in the rock. All right, we'll see. Look, everyone knows you from the band Mint Condition, but you've been solo for quite some time now. Yeah. But you were also with another band briefly in 2017, The Revolution.
Yeah, I moonlight with them. Actually, we got it somewhere in California here this month sometime. So which is I
saw
beautiful...
you with The Revolution.
Oh, you said okay.
I saw that show, and it was amazing.
It's with the original members with from The Revolution, the band you saw in Purple Rain, that movie. That little bit of movie that
and that small movie that did a little something.
Yeah, it's amazing players. They just incredible, and they're so much more talented than people you could ever think. Just amazing. It's just fortunate to be a part of that whole situation, and a group that you emulated, loved, growing up, seeing the movie, and then also seeing them around town when they didn't know it. Growing up, I seen.
Because you're from Minneapolis.
Yeah. So seeing this dude, before he became what he became, watched in the infancy stages, some of the groups he was with, see him at the movie theater, just being a regular person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just amazing. It's just weird sometimes to be on stage and like the only person who's missing from this equation is him. And I'm like, why am I here?
It's
so weird. Yeah.
And it's interesting when you say you would see him in the movie theater and stuff like that. You mean like when you go to the movies, Prince would happen to be at the movie theater?
I remember.
You mean seeing him on the big screen?
No, inside the movie watching it. My dad took me to see a Richard Pryor movie. I guess I was of that age. It's like, you can handle it, boy. Come on. You go in here with me. Come on in here. I was like, are you sure? I was like, this cousin daddy, this cousin up in here. Like, you can handle it. And all I remember is I kept hearing, I was like, who is that? Before you knew, I was like, that's Prince. That's the dude who's got the new song, Soft and Wet. This big fella definitely him. I told him years ago, I was like, man, I seen you in the movie theater cracking up so loud. He's like, what movie was it? I was like, Richard Pryor. He was like, yeah, that was me. I was like, yeah, I know it was you.
You do have a voice. I don't mean a singing voice like Prince, but you do have a speaking voice like Prince. Like, it's very Prince-esque. It's really very sexy.
Is that right?
Yeah. See, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. I'm feeling some kind of way. Stop doing that. But when Prince died, I remember right before, like months before, he was at some type of pharmacy or something getting some medication, and he was riding a bicycle or something to go get it at the pharmacy, and he stopped to sit on the curb, and a woman was getting ready to take a photograph of him, and he said, please don't. And she respected it and did not do it. She told that story right, shortly after he died. She was like, everybody here in this city just respects him so much, which is saying a lot in this day and age when you get money for photographs like that. Yeah. And you get paid tons of money for stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, at home, it was kind of like, because he was out so much, he really had a lot of pride for his city. And I think after a while, people knew him and would respect his privacy. I think that's one of the reasons why he stayed there, kept him pretty sane, Mm-hmm. And he could work everything. I think it's part of the reason I stay there, too. It's like, even as cold as it is, but...
So that's still your home?
It is, yeah. I work everywhere else, but that's still home base, yeah.
Yeah. What is it about the music in Minneapolis?
Maybe because everybody, hones their craft inside because it's so cold outside. In those 6-7 months in winter, everybody stays inside and does
mind their own business.
So, I got this new project. We done with 3 of them already. You're like, what? When'd you do it? Oh, for Christmas? Yeah. A whole 6 months, yeah.
Well, Prince is not the only connection that you have to Minneapolis. Right now, today, as of this moment, you are signed to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's record label.
Yeah, so we have a joint venture, me and my business partner, Al Madison, and we joined forces with as Blue Raft and Perspective Records, Flight Time, and back home, as we say, as I've been saying. So
tell me, really because we're not music industry people, so tell us what that means. You just rattle off 3 different names: Flight Time, Perspective,
so Blue Raft,
Blue Raft. What is
me
that?
And Al Madison, his label, and these days it's pretty much you can have your own label and you take care of all of the artistic side of what we need to. I already know how to record. We know how to do what we need to do to get music to you. Know, the rest of it is just kind of FedEx. You find a distributor. And it's just extra weight with Jam and Lewis as far as consulting, whether they, play something with me or, however we do it. They've just always been a big champion, championed my cause and cheerleaders for what, they believe in what I've been doing for years. So it's great to be back home just to kind of put these forces together and just, this is going to be some amazing things in 2020. Glad to be a part, of their legacy, from Mint Condition to Perspective Records with, all the Sounds of Blackness and Low Key and all these great music that
powerful tribute that they did to Jam and Lewis last night
so well
too.
Deserved. And I was just saying, I was telling Jam last night, it's like, and this was the abbreviated version.
Right, yeah, you're right. But it took me a minute to even realize that they were honoring him, honoring them.
Oh, right.
Because you forget how much music that they created.
It's amazing.
You just forget. You're like, oh, damn, I forgot that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did the Sounds of Blackness.
Yeah, that's right. And some people didn't know they did. Oh, I know they did Scream,
Right. It's like, what? And, so it took me a while, and I was like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a ton of
and then
music.
to have Babyface, one of the most amazing producers in the world, to present, and his influence, So, yeah, it was an amazing night, magical night, powerful night, and just glad to be in the room and be a part of that whole thing and have people see me in a different light and just make the connection with all of it,
So I want to talk about a moment that happened at the Soul Train Awards, 2 separate moments, one that happened during, one that happened after. But there were kind of contrasting moments. So, and you would never think it is because you're a dude, I'm a girl, we messy. That's what we do. So Summer Walker, you saw her win her award and she was just kind of like, thank you, appreciate it, but good night, everybody. And she walked off. Oh, and then, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, it was probably the shortest speech in award history.
Okay.
Because she was like, oh, thank you, appreciate it, good night, everybody. And she walked off. And she had talked about actually leaving the music industry here recently. So I was surprised that she was even there. And then today I wake up to news that Ari Lennox was pissed that she didn't win a Soul Train award. And first thing came to my mind, and it's wrong. I was like, we mad because we didn't win a Soul Train award? But okay, I get it. So it's just a contrast of both of those. Summer Walker just being unfazed by it, but I'm sure very delighted. And Ari Lennox being upset about it and hurt, like, I can't believe this. How do you feel as an artist when it comes to these awards?
Look, man, we all have a gift. We all hone our crafts, and then you have these skill sets that we develop over years and years and years. And then we learn a little bit of how the business and the industry works, right? Mm-hmm. And there's so many things and tools that we have and people that help us to more or less manipulate the system after the music is out. And so we can do all that and, put some little fairy dust over here and that. After all of that, it's still a crapshoot. People have to like it. You know what I mean? So it's not just it's not just a.
It's never just the music.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
It's never just the music, but it's like you can't depend on just because even if you have like the #1 song, that kind of thing, you're not gonna win every award. It's kind of political sometimes. You never know.
But you could at least win the Soul Train Award, can't you?
You can. I mean, everything's political. Even that is. You know what I mean?
Wow. So
it's. I mean, I'm sure you're great at what you do, but how many people were in line for, you know what I mean? Well, she's the perfect fit for this, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what it is. So I don't know. Right. I don't know, but some people, they're like, I feel like, and she probably is well deserved for it. But artists we wear our emotions on our sleeves sometimes more than others, and we gonna speak out. This is part of the reason why we do music, to have an outlet for that. So,
do you believe Do you believe Mint Condition deserved, got what they deserved in terms of the honors and the kudos musically? I'm
sure there could be a lot more. We're so thankful for what we have gotten, and it's like we've won so much and met so many of our heroes. I mean, that is everything. I mean, it's great to be acknowledged by your peers, and again, and these other awards and trophies and things are just that. It signals, your success, but it's still made up of a group of people who decide this kind of thing. So how much of it is real? It's real, but you know what I mean?
Exactly. How much of it is real?
And we appreciate it. All of us appreciate. You want to be acknowledged in that kind of thing, but it's not the end of the world. And I think that's what people need to take home. It's not, and I get it, but just because you didn't win an award, you're trying to have a career in this, right? Not just a moment. So you got a lot more where that came from.
That's great advice to those out there trying to be in the industry. You're trying to have a career, not just a moment. Yeah. I've just gotten to the point to where I feel like, you know what? I just want to honor the gifts that God has given me.
The rest will come.
And the rest is what it is.
Don't let me
honor him.
Yeah, the shiny and blingy stuff. That's I think sometimes we get the priorities a little mixed up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I am in love. I was in love with the last single, by the way. I don't know if you remember being here. I don't know. I forgot the name of it. Organic. Thank you.
Okay, organic.
Organic.
Okay. Yeah.
But this one is, this is my repeat right now.
It's repeat?
This is my repeat right now. For sure.
Yeah.
And a lot of our listeners are definitely into it as well.
Good.
I don't know if it's because of me and I have influence, but.
Of course.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. How are you today, Tammi Mac?
Tammi Mac is doing fine because I'm waiting on Stokley to arrive, girl.
So ready because I have it on good authority that song just does it for the guy that is in my life. He just says that I'm it in that song.
That's how your man feels about you, that Stokley song.
That's what he told me, child.
Ooh.
I was just messed up.
Well, let me tell you, if he thinks you are the she that Stokley is talking about, you must be doing something right over there.
Well, you just pray my strength in the Lord that I might continue to let me look good, okay?
Girl, go and get your credit.
No. See, some of this stuff, you just got to know who did it, and the Lord keeps making me look good. Thank you so much for everything you do, lady. I'm so proud of you. You just don't know.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to see you face to face.
She gives me life.